we're live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we are going to talk about news around the NFL. Things such as, I believe we got the Justin Tucker. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about Barkley going to the Eagles, of course. The Packers blocked a field goal they knew was going to happen, kind of like similar to what was happening with the Kansas City Chiefs when they blocked the field goal against the Broncos. They knew they were going to do it, and it's kind of like the same thing that's going to happen here as well. And I'll tell you what they said in a minute. And then we'll probably dive into a few videos as well, some interviews and things like that, players' interviews and stuff, and then talk about 49ers versus Packers coming up this Sunday. So, Sam in the house. What's up, man? What up? Welcome. All right. We're going to try and go live every single day. Try to. So, some lives won't be able to last very long, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, just because I don't have that kind of time. But we're going to try and go live every single day and just talk it up, man. Just have a great conversation, Let's have a great conversation. Let me get my chat up real quick. Hope you're doing good, Sam. Hope everyone's doing good. All right. Got my chat up. Let's go ahead and jump into Justin Tucker losing his touch. It is so sad, man, of Justin Tucker, dude. I feel so bad for him because it wasn't even like a drop-off where he was subtly coming down. It is like a huge downgrade. He's one of the worst kickers in the NFL. I believe he's the 32nd kicker in the NFL right now. He is terrible, and it's sad to see. It really is. It's like watching a legend die right before your eyes. I understand that Justin Tucker is not a 49er. He's a Baltimore Raven. I get that. But my God, do I have a lot of respect for him, a lot of respect for his play. He's a legend. And, for people who just love football in general, you got to respect it, and I respect Justin Tucker in a lot of ways. And it's just really sad to see this kind of downfall, man. He's I thought he was going to be the greatest kicker of all time, but if he continues this path that he's on, does that take away from his legend? Not so much where it takes away his legend entirely, but I do think that it would take away from his goatness, I think, because he was on track to being the greatest kicker of all time. But now I think if he continues this path and just keeps adding negative years onto his career, it's going to look bad. While I can't think of the kicker's name, the kicker for the Patriots, Ganikowski or something like that. And then the other one is going to end up taking his place. Because as of right now, the trajectory-wise, Justin Tucker was turning out to be that guy. He has the longest field goal made in NFL history. It was a game winner. It was super huge. That was a good moment. But, just watching him, it's just sad, man. Because I have some friends who are actually Baltimore Ravens fans, and they're bummed out too. They're probably more bummed out than everyone else. They get sad even talking about the possibility of getting a new kicker. It's totally sad. And it's sad to see, and I wish he didn't go out like that. I just, as someone who loves football in general and respects legends such as Justin Tucker, he's such a good guy too, based on all the things I heard about him off the field, he deserves that kind of praise. And it's just sad to see this kind of downfall and ultimately being a burden to the Ravens, which is something I feel like no Raven fans would really actually thought they would ever say about their team. So yeah, Justin Tucker's definitely gone next year. I'd be shocked if he's still on the team. It's that bad. It's not like he's missing some field goals here and there. It's like there's a consistent basis of him just constantly missing field goals. His current stats right now this year, he's great. He's perfect, 39 and under. But as of right now, he is 4 for 6 from 40 to 49, and he is 7 for 3, 50 plus. That is crazy. His downfall started last year, if you really want to think about it, because last year he's 5 for 1. 50 plus field goal attempts. So he was bad last year as well, but it's just such a huge drop this year. I can't believe this is happening. I really do like Justin Tucker, and I wish him nothing but the best, man. I hope that, he doesn't feel like this took away from him or anything, I really do hope that he still feels like he's a legend, one of the greatest kickers of all time, because he is, but I kind of think that if he continues to go down this path, he's not going to be that much of a GOAT. It's kind of like with Russell Wilson. He was fantastic this years in Seattle, but after that, he kind of took away from his legacy. He truly did. And I truly feel bad for Russell Wilson in that aspect, because it's I don't know. You're stacked because he got Seattle their first Super Bowl. He went to Seattle. He went to back-to-back Super Bowls. Lost, of course. Owning the worst Super Bowl play call of all time doesn't help, right? But what I'm trying to say is if you keep adding more negative years onto things, it's just going to get worse. So you gotta, like, if you're done, you're done. You got to stop taking away from your legacy. And I feel like that's what Justin Tucker is going to continue to do throughout this season. Sam says, hi, did you see my comment on the community post? I did not. Sometimes I rarely get comment notifications. So sometimes I miss comments. Val in the house. What up, Val? Good to see you. Just got done talking about Justin Tucker. I want to talk about things around the NFL. Do something a little bit different today. And then we're going to watch some 49ers stuff, of course. We're still going to talk about 49ers. That's still happening. All right. We're still going to talk about the 49ers. But I just want to talk about a few things around the NFL just for something different, Justin Tucker, very, very sad. Okay, it's funny. All right. I'll check it out. Barkley to the Eagles is like CMC going to the Niners. Like, the Eagles got their own CMC. That's how I look at it. And it's almost the same thing, except for we got CMC later, and but they got it at the beginning of the year. I can't believe they gave Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. I can't believe I watched that HBO Hard Knocks and watch the GM for the Giants. I can't think of his name right now. I can't believe he literally said, this is Daniel Jones' year. This is Daniel Jones' time. And not to mention, you chose Daniel Jones over Saquon. Oh, I can't believe that, dude. That's so wild to me, man. Saquon Barkley was always great, right? I thought he was already, like, for some reason last year they thought that he wasn't that good, which I don't know why people thought that. When you're working with trash and you're still doing some pretty good things here and there, you're allowed to have some bad games, especially if your offensive line's absolutely atrocious. You know what I mean? I just think I can't believe they did that. And not to mention, I can't believe that the GM still has a job. How's he still the GM, dude? Like, I don't blame Brian Daboll. I don't know why. For some reason, I just like Brian Daboll. I think he's actually a really good head coach, in my opinion. I think he's just stuck in a very shitty situation. I've seen him do incredible things with backup quarterbacks on that squad with that offense, with Daniel Jones. I think he's actually a really good head coach, and he just needs a real opportunity, in my opinion. The GM is just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. The assistant guy, the scout, wherever, I'm like, I don't know if like letting him go would be smart. Give that man the job for the Giants GM. He was smart. He knew exactly what was going on. Like, he was like, I don't know, man. Do people want to pay $12 million for an elite running back right now? Yeah. Who wouldn't have paid that? For Saquon Barkley, you pay $12 million, which was like pretty much just $1 million more from the average. Are you serious? When Saquon Barkley was a top 2 running back, in my opinion, the only reason why he looked bad was because of the offensive line and he was working with Daniel Jones. It baffles me that they gave Saquon Barkley away to anyone. And it's just wild, dude. It's just wild. And now Saquon Barkley is saving Jalen Hurts' ass, okay? Because Jalen Hurts is mid. He's bona fide mid, okay? He's not bad, but he's bona fide mid. And right now, Saquon Barkley is making him look elite, okay? When in all reality, he cannot. This is not Jalen Hurts. This is all that the offense is happening right now is because of Saquon Barkley. I know that's what people said about Brock Purdy last year, but here's the difference. Jalen Hurts doesn't have any elite stats to back up his play. Brock Purdy did. He was first in just about every single category, while Jalen Hurts right now, I don't believe has one. Let's look at Jalen Hurts' stats right now, just to see if just to see where he's at, just to see if he has any stat that's first. Because that's the idea, right? If he's supposed to be, if the idea is, okay, Saquon Barkley's doing all the work, What is Jalen Hurts doing? While Brock Purdy had CMC, and people were saying that CMC was doing all the work, making Brock Purdy look good, while Brock Purdy had multiple stats ranked first above every single elite quarterback you could think of that's in the league right now. Let me try to find Justin, not Justin, but Jalen Hurts. There we go. Hurts. We're talking about some NFL stuff, guys. We'll, of course, talk about the 49ers in a minute. That's going to happen. I just want to talk about things around the NFL real quick. Jalen Hurts right here. So I have not looked at his stats in a long time. So I could be looking stupid right now where he could be first in multiple categories and I don't even know it. But I'm confident going into this right now, he's not. Let's find out. NFL QBs. Let me find it. Because I've seen his play. NFL QBs. Passing stats. Where's Pro Football Reference? Pro Football Reference, right? By the way, guys, probably is one of the best places, in my opinion, to get stats about anything. It's just efficient. They have all kinds of stats. You can compare them and stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, so let me go ahead and share this. I'll share this screen with you guys real quick. Thank you to everybody who's watching this live. Please hit the like button. Helps me out a lot. Helps my channel grow. I'm going to try and go live every single day, 30 minutes to an hour, whatever it may be, because I do have things to do, but I'm going to try to make this a marathon. I'm going to try to go live every single day. That's the goal. So hit that like button. Appreciate it, guys. I feel bad for Justin Tucker. I feel bad for him too, man. I truly do. I truly do, Val. At 3:40 Central, I'm going live to show off my NFL cards. If you want to join, I would show you my 49ers cards. Sure, why not? I'll jump on there if 3:40. If I'm available, I'll definitely jump in there. I'll give you a like and check it out. All right. Let me go ahead and bring up this. Boom. Okay. Bam. All right. Let me try to fix this. Okay. All right. So this is the quarterback stacks currently. Val says, I like this live. Thank you so much. Hey, you're OG. You always come in here. You represent. Thank you so much, Val. I appreciate it. Always. W Val. No doubt. I love when people show love too. That's really cool. That's what I like to see. Support each other. All right. So in yards, we'll look at where is Brock Purdy's actually ahead of Jalen Hurts. And he's 16th in yards, man. 16th in yards. How many touchdowns? He is 17th in touchdowns. What in the F, dude? Completion. 6th in completion. Not one stat in first. So far. Yards per attempt. 4th, not first. Jalen Hurts 5th in air yards per attempt, not first. QB rating. This one's huge. 7th. Brock Purdy was first at this time. QBR. Jalen Hurts is 8th. Brock Purdy has a better QBR, dude. Oh my God. Dude. Jalen Hurts has the best offense, dude. All weapons from offensive line and collectively from tight end to wide receiver to running back. He has so much to work with and doesn't have a single stat. I don't think he only has one stat, I think, in top 5, right? What was it? What was it? In touchdown? No, it wasn't touchdowns. It wasn't yards either. Was it air yards per attempt, I think it was? Yeah, top 5. He's throwing it further, right? But everywhere else, he's not top 5 in anything, dude. And he has what you would argue the best offense to work with. He has the best offense to work with and doesn't have one fucking stat. Brock Purdy had multiple stats. Let's go look at that. last year, where there was no injuries and pretty much what Jalen Hurts is working with is pretty much almost bar for bar the same thing that Brock Purdy worked with, pretty much, except for he has a better offensive line than Brock Purdy ever did previous season. Let's go check this out. All right, in yards, Brock Purdy was 5th. Where is the touchdowns? Brock Purdy was 3rd. I'm about to look dumb right now. Brock Purdy's 1st in QBR. Sorry, in passer rating. 1st in QBR. 3rd in touchdowns. 4th in completion percentage. 5th in yards. He was better than Jalen Hurts ever was last year and this year. Insane. Absolutely insane, dude. And I think he was like first in like deep balls too as well. He was first in deep balls. He was first in 20-yard passes, first in 40-yard passes. He was a stud last year with what he was working with. And it was actually less than what Jalen Hurts is working with right now. Jalen Hurts had more technically this year. It's just crazy that you let him have Saquon. You let him have Saquon Barkley just to make Jalen Hurts look good because he's shit. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good. I take that back. I say shit. That's not being real. I think he's mid. Just mid. Not shit, but mid. That's how I look at it. You got mad cotton mouth, guys. My edibles are kicking in hard. All right. We talk about next. We just got to talk about Barkley going to the Eagles. That's crazy to me, man. I think that's one of the biggest pickups for any team in the offseason. That is crazy to me, man. Saquon Barkley doing that crazy jump back to the fucking backwards jump over, dude. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, dude. That was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen, dude. Here's another tidbit. Another weird thing. Saquon Barkley, when he went to the Eagles, he was surprised about the backlash. How were you surprised about the backlash, dude? I don't understand that at all. I really don't. You went to a divisional rival, and to a divisional rival where it's hot, it's heated, man. It's a real deal. Like, and then he thinks, like, I shouldn't be booed. Oh, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. It should be all fine. Everyone should love me. And it's like, yeah, you're well respected around the NFL, but you're being naive if you think that you backstab the Giants, whether you like it or not. They feel like they got backstabbed, whether you like it or not. That's how they felt. Okay, especially considering you didn't really look for your options. It's almost as if you went straight towards the Eagles. Truly. So it just felt like you spat on them, stabbed them in the back, and walked away. If I was a Giants fan, I would be super upset. That'd be like if Frank Gore went to the Seattle Seahawks, dude. That would kill me. That would kill me to see. Even if you feel like our organization treated you bad, I would still feel that way. You know what I mean? You can't help that. And so to be so naive to be like, okay, I don't think I should get a round of applause. Ooh. Nah, dude, it's not like you went to an AFC team, right? It's just wild to me, dude. Wild. I see the Eagles and Barkley will destroy the Rams on Sunday night. He will have a huge game. Barkley, I agree. Yeah, he's gonna have a great game. I think from here on out, he's just gonna. He should be in the MVP conversation. If I remember correctly. I think a few people have talked about it, and I think he's definitely up there with MVP. Josh Allen's probably going to win it because it is more of a quarterback award to be realistic here. But yes, Josh Allen is probably going to win it. And if it wasn't a quarterback award so far, I'm giving it to Saquon Barkley. That dude is like single-handedly carrying that entire offense, making that offense just look great. Without Saquon Barkley, I want to see what this team looks like without Saquon Barkley. I've already seen it, right? We saw it last year. It was terrible. It was terrible last year. But I want to see what it looks like this year without Saquon Barkley, just to prove my point. Because it's apparent that Saquon Barkley is elite, doing crazy things left and right. I mean, I can't even think of a game where he was shut down. All right, he is one of the best running backs he is the best running back as of right now in the league. He's on par with CMC. He's doing CMC things. He's doing things that I haven't seen CMC do. They're their own entity, but they're on the same tier, right? It's crazy, dude. Crazy, man. I kind of wish this would happen, and I think this would be would have been a really cool matchup with how the defense is kind of struggling right now, and how the Eagles defense is always kind of struggling too. I really want to see a fully healthy, fully capable CMC, fully healthy, capable IU, Debo, etc., Kittle, all that, versus the Eagles' fully healthy offense. That's what I wanted to see so badly. We're not going to get that. Ayuk's gone. CMC is not the same as of right now. He's still working to get back. George Kittle's dealing with injuries. Our offensive line is atrocious compared to theirs. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I want to see that, the two juggernauts. I want to see the offense of the 49ers last year versus this offense here and see how it performed. This would probably be the running back bowl. It would probably be one of the greatest running back games we've ever seen, if you really think about it. Two elite top running backs. If CMC was just the same player as last year and Saquon Barkley is performing the way he's doing right now, tell me when last time there was a better matchup with a running back. Like, I can't think of a better game than watching these two future Hall of Famers go at it in a game. I would so love to see that. And then, of course, Kyle Shanahan and Nick Sirianni before the game would have to be like, all right, like, let's just have a deal here. You play nothing but Saquon Barkley plays. We'll play nothing but CMC plays, okay? And we'll see just how good we are with our running backs, because that's something I would really love to see. But I don't think we're gonna get anything like that. But now we're definitely not getting anything like that. And that's kind of sad, really, if you really think about it. Something you'd hope you'd see the playoffs. But as of right now, the 49ers have a rough road to the playoffs. It's still possible. It's still possible. I still believe 110% that the 49ers can go to the playoffs. It's just the Eagles are definitely going. You can tell that they're definitely going, while the 49ers are not definitely going to the playoffs. They have some things they have to prove first. So that's a matchup I would love to see, a fully healthy offense on both sides. It's crazy. Oh, my God. I got mad cotton mouth. All right, so some 49ers news. The 49ers signed Jonathan Garvin back to the practice squad. Welcome back, Jonathan Garvin. He was one of our backup pass rushers that we let go, brought back on Samo, I believe, and it's just so much better now. Not so much better, but I guess he's better because I think Samo is better than Jonathan Garvin. But having Jonathan Garvin back is fine, I guess. It's depth. But he's not really. He's really just a cone, right? Like, he's not really a good pass rusher. Doesn't really add anything. It's whatever. And that's what really sad is, because we're not going to have a pass rush against this Packers team. I want you guys to know that right now. This defense is not going to perform well against the Packers just because there's no pass rush. There's going to be no pass rush. I want you guys to prepare for that. Nick Bosa is not playing. It doesn't sound like he's going to play. That injury is way too aggravated. He needs the break right now. I believe he aggravated his other oblique as well, so that's a problem. So count on there being no pass rush against the Packers. I think 49ers would have been better with Barkley than CMC back when we traded for CMC. I disagree. But, hey, they're the same tier. So if you like one or the other, that's up to you. But I would prefer CMC. I like CMC a lot. He's a lot more of a he can do a lot of things in the run game, but I feel like CMC in the passing game is significantly better than Saquon Barkley in the passing game. And in an offense where the 49ers like to run a lot of play action, you kind of need a good passing catch, a good receiving running back is what you need. That's my opinion. Michael Cantanzaro, welcome to the stream. And I didn't do this to Nikita either. Nikita, welcome to the stream. Sorry, my bad. I'm falling behind, guys. I'm slacking, dude. All right. We just got to talking about Jalen Hurts and how he's a fraud. And then we talked about Justin Tucker, how it's sad that he's just done. That's one of the saddest things ever, just watching him just fall into mediocrity. Like, not even mediocrity, like the bottom of barrel like type. Bottom of barrel type play. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let me see if I can find a 49ers vid real quick. I think I had one, but it's gone. That one's at 12:45. That one's at 2:45. There was a video that I had. Sorry, guys. I'm definitely failing right now. I do apologize. I'm currently trying to find the video that I had, and I cannot find it. No. No. Sorry, guys. What the fuck, dude? Refs blew it. Lenore's pissed. Pure saw separation. No, we don't need that. Where is it? Hold on. My bads. That's 2 days ago. There's that. Got that already. Where the fuck is it? Wow, the NFL screwed up. I think that's it. No, there's a shorter video. I'm looking for the one where they messed up the play call where the 49ers could have possibly won, even though I don't think so, just because we played so bad. I don't know. I think he probably would have won, so I don't really think it really matters. I think the video was about how the 49ers play call. Apparently, the refs fucked up and gave back-to-back timeouts to the Seahawks, which, of course, as you guys all know, is not legal. You can't do that, but they did it anyway. It was very replacement ref-esque kind of type bullshit, so that was kind of frustrating. But, again, I still think that the Seahawks would have scored just because the defense was playing terrible. And I guess if you kind of think about it, they did bring it down to 12 seconds left on the clock. So if they didn't get that timeout with that logic, technically the Seahawks would have lost, but you don't know what kind of tempo they would have ended up going into with that. I think it would have went all the way down to like 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. So they still got the 2 minute, the warning. They probably would have played with a little bit different urgency. I don't think it's too big of a deal, but at the same time, you can't be doing stuff like that because it could truly mess up a game. So, yeah. Roster move 49ers add defense part in the wake of bonus injury and what it likely means. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch Brad. We're going to watch the SF Niners video. It's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. He's going to talk about the adding adding Jonathan Garvin to the practice squad and what he thinks it likely means for Nick Bosa. Who is my favorite player? As of right now, it's Brock Purdy. CMC is still a beast for the 49ers. Love to see a CMC versus Barkley match in the playoff. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. I would love to see something like that. All right, so let's go and watch this Brad video. He's going to talk about the addition of Jonathan Garvin and what it means for Nick Bosa being out, because that's a big deal. Because Packers, we're going to have little to no pass rush. So I wonder what he thinks about it and what he has to say. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, here is Brad. I think it's Brad Graham is his name. I could be wrong. From the SF Niners, letting us know about the situation. Let me bring it up. Boop. Boop. If you got, and by the way, give this guy a follow if you're not already. He is always up to date on all the information. Like, he's on it. Okay. I tried beating him to news before. It's fucking hard. You really got to be on it to beat this guy in the news. So if you guys like 49ers news and stuff like that, check him out. He's fantastic. He's usually in the middle and doesn't really get involved in any kind of controversy. He's usually tries to stay in his lane. He's a good dude. You know, stay in his lane sounds like a bad way of putting it. That's not what I mean, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying. No, least favorite player. My least favorite player would be right now either Leonard Floyd or Devondre Campbell. I absolutely can't stand those players. As of right, if you wanted me to take a little bit, one that's like that affects the team that I at least like the most would have to be Jake Moody. Or do you mean least favorite player in general? Like of all time? Of all time. It would have to be probably Antonio Brown or Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Definitely those three. For sure. For sure. In general, Kittle, was he preaching today? Was he practicing today? I don't know. I don't know. You're really worried about George Kittle, man. You're like, I need him to play. I got a feeling George Kittle's your favorite player on that. Now that I realize that, I think that's your profile pick. I think that's your favorite player. Let me see. Is George Kittle playing this week? Spoiling tight ends. Let me check. He's expected to return to practice. He's expected to resume practicing this week. Yes. So he's expected to practice. Yeah. Yeah, he's expected to practice. Well, good luck, man. I hope so, because A-Rod cards are worth money right now, I think. I I could be wrong. All right, so here's Brad giving us the news. Brad of the SF Niners bringing the news.
The San Francisco 49ers made a slight roster move. And when I say slight, just not something that's really going to move the needle, but it could have some kind of ramification on Nick Bosa and what his availability will be like throughout the week. So let's get into the move. The 49ers have signed Jonathan Garvin to the practice squad. Now, he has been with the team. They signed him in the training camp, and he's kind of been on and off the practice squad with the 49ers. He's decent defensive end, a guy who had some success in the UFL and, has been in the league. He's a former Packer. So we know who this guy is. And he, played in the preseason with the San Francisco 49ers. He's back on the practice squad. So I think some of the conversations might be, well, is this a direct correlation to Nick Bosa and his availability? As obviously you have Bosa dealing with double oblique injuries, double hip injuries. He's going through it right now. And my read on this is I do believe that Bosa will play in this game just because of the significance of the game and what it really means for the 49ers' future.
Did he just say, I think? Did he just say, I think Nick Bosa is going to play in this game? I don't think he is, man. I do agree. Like, he's going to be a insurance piece, but I feel like that's what they're going to do anyway. I don't think he's going to play, dude. Did you see his injury? He describes it as one of the worst injuries he's ever had to play through, and he agitated it already. He aggravated it already. He aggravated the most severe injury he's ever had to play through. I don't know, man. Let me repeat. Let me go back. I think that's what he said. I could be wrong, but let me just go back.
Might be, well, is this a direct correlation to Nick Bosa and his availability? As obviously you have Bosa dealing with double oblique injuries, double hip injuries. He's going through it right now. And my read on this is I do believe that Bosa will play in this game just because of the significance of the game and what it really means for the 49ers' future of trying to get into the playoffs. You got to win this one. And but I do expect them to execute the same practice plan as they did last week. Was no practice for Bosa for Wednesday, which they will have their first practice today, and no practice on Thursday. We'll see if Bosa gets a limited participation on Friday. But again, Bosa is also one of those kinds of guys who does not need to practice all week in order to play, just like we saw from Trent Williams, who did not practice all week and still played in that game. So I think they're just going to try to manage Nick Bosa's reps. You get a defensive end who can, participate in practice with Bosa being out. So I'm of the mindset Bosa's playing. Like, this is basically a playoff game against the Packers. So there's no time to rest,
I get that, but dude, it's not. I'm not saying it's good that we should take a loss, but I'm saying we can afford a loss against a team that we were expected to lose to, if that makes sense, right? We got to steal a win somewhere, true, but at what point are you to the point where, like, if he were to play maybe a quarter and actually aggravate this injury, he could be out for the rest of the year to that point, right? And then be like, what is the point? What would be the point? Just for the sake of making it to the playoffs and then just looking like shit in the wild card? Because we're going to need Nick Bosa. Without this pass rush, it's nothing, right? So it wouldn't matter if we make it into the playoff. If Bosa pushes himself with this injury, he is likely going to tear something and likely be out for the rest of the season. I understand how important the game is, but I'd push back on this. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree or not. I like Brad. I respect him and stuff. This is more like just a disagreement. That's all it is. And to me, I think it'd be wild that if he were to play, considering how serious if he plays, that's got to mean that it's not that serious. I'm sorry, but if it's as serious as I think it is, to the point where he could not finish a game-winning drive for the Seattle Seahawks, that's when we need. He couldn't do that. Do you think that he's going to be able to go through it with just 1 week of one break between aggravating his injury that he's going to be fine again in this game? That would be wild. I understand the urgency. I get it, but you got to let him take on another game to steal. Like, let him have 2 weeks off and let him come back against the Bills. Or let him have 2 weeks off and comes back against Bills, maybe even the Bears, right? And then you go on a run from there, just win every single game from there. I don't know, man. It's just, we do have to steal one of these 3 games. The Green Bay Packers, by losing to the Hawks, because Bosa wasn't in there, we have to bring, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. We have to now win one of the Packers, Bills, or Lions game. It's tough, man. This is a tough decision. I see where he's coming from. I mean, if you agree with him, that's fine. I know where you're coming from, but I think it'd be wild to play him. I think it would be crazy. I don't think it'd be smart if it's this bad. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, if Nick Bosa is going to go out there, he's going to go out there. And I'm pretty sure Nick Bosa will go out there as long as he's able to walk and he could do at least 1 rep. I'm pretty sure he's going to put himself out there. And Kyle, I can see Kyle Toll also agreeing with Brad here, saying, hey, put him out there. It's that serious. Do it anyway. I think it's dangerous. I think you're playing with it's a gamble. It's a huge gamble that I don't know if I agree with.
Well, I always talk about it. There's a difference between being hurt and injured. Injured means you just can't physically go because you have a break, a tear. Your body can't actually do it. The thing is, when you're hurt, yeah, you're in a lot of pain, but you can still move. You can still go out there, and it's effectively a mental element. So you have to be able to try to block out the pain. You have to be able to play through the pain. You have to play with the pain. And so that's where I think it's at with Bosa. He's going to be in a lot of pain. He's going to be feeling it. He's going to be hurting. But I think because he understands the significance of this game and the team needing him out there, obviously he couldn't go in that final drive against the Seattle Seahawks, and we saw what had happened. So he's going to probably do everything he can to make sure he gets the correct treatment and he can be back and ready to go for this game against the Packers, because it really means a lot. So that's my read on it. But you guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like.
Check out Brad. If you guys like Brad, be sure to check him out. He's a good he breaks the news about the 49ers all the time. Be sure to check him out. He's a great dude. But I 100% disagree with putting him out there, though. Welcome back, Sam Pram. What else we got? We got any more videos? Check that out. I think that's everything. I think it's everything to really talk about. And then tomorrow we'll go ahead and talk about the Thursday night football game, and then we'll talk about the current injuries and things like that that's happening. I do expect George Kittle to be in practice today. He's expected to be there. We signed Jonathan Garvin to the practice squad, which means I think that indicates to me that Garvin's going to play over Nick Bosa, but Nick Bosa's not going to play. You let me know who you guys think, what you guys would prefer to happen, what you think is going to happen. I like to hear it. I want to hear it because that's kind of iffy territory. It's either you give him that rest and try to steal a game later, or play him and try to steal a win here against the Green Bay Packers, because that's what you got to do. And it's such a gamble. I think you should rest him and let him come back against the Bills or something. But yeah, that is absolutely crazy. So, what else do we got? Day-to-day, Jonathan Garvin. Oh yeah. By the way, the 49ers versus Packers, the Packers are actually favorited in this game, which I think is like the first time the 49ers are actually the underdogs, which should have been the case a long time ago. But it's now actually confirmed, I believe, that the Packers are favored by 2.5 points. And they're probably indicating because Nick Bosa is probably not going to play. That's probably why, I think. Even though I think it should be for other reasons, but that could be one of the reasons why they put it down to 2.5. But the over-under right now is 47. right? So I think it's going to be under 47. I think it's going to be like a 20-17 game, 21, 24 game, something like that. I can't imagine this being a score fest. It may be a score fest on one end because the defense is going to play terrible if Nick Bosa doesn't play. So on one end, the Green Bay Packers could go off and score 30-plus points, right? But there's a difference between what I want to happen and what I think will happen. And what I think will happen here is Green Bay Packers are going to go off on our defense. It's going to take our offense to have to keep up with them. And that is a daunting task considering how bad this offense is playing. Okay, it's not playing up to par. It's terrible. Last separation, third last in yards after the catch. Brock Purdy, I think, is playing really good. Kyle Shanahan's not scheming it up as well anymore. This offense needs to keep up with this offense because I want you guys to prepare yourself. I want you guys to prepare yourself for a score fest, possibly. There's going to be some deep balls. There's going to be a long run here and there. There's going to be some crazy play here and there that's going to go against the 49ers. I want you guys to prepare yourself for that. But we can win the game. Any given Sunday, we can do it. It's possible. This team just needs to figure it out. And against the Packers, the 49ers have been very lucky, have been usually very dominant against them. This is not the same team against those other teams, right? Those other teams that the Packers played were amazing, right? Well, this is probably one of the weakest teams on offense as of right now, all right? It's very Jimmy Garoppolo-esque, if you ask me, and maybe even a little bit less performance-wise. So this is really important. This game is super important, but I do think we can win it. But I do understand why we're underdogs. I do understand, and I can totally see how the Green Bay Packers can beat us in this game. But I totally 100% believe we're going to win this game. We can do it. We can do it. Nick Bosa should be sitting out. I think he should be sitting out too. 100%. Smart. But Brad disagrees, man. I mean, if they do play Nick Bosa, we got to win the game. Because most likely, in my opinion, I feel like this is going to happen. If he could barely get through the Seahawks game, what makes you think he's going to get through that Green Bay Packer game? So I just think that he's going to re-aggravate it if he were to play. So if that's the case, you better win. Because you're sacrificing your chip. Because most likely, if he's going to re-aggravate his injury, and it's going to be a lot worse to the point where he's going to miss weeks, right? And so you're taking a gamble like, okay, do we steal a win now, or do we just rest him and try to steal a win later? If you put him out there now, you have to win, because the games you have to steal are the Green Bay Packers, Bills, and Lions. Those are three games that I feel like the 49ers should lose, that should be underdogs to, right? And you have to win one of those now to go 10-7 because you lost to the Seahawks. So you have to go out and steal a win against one of these three teams. So if you do it, you better steal this win. You better get the Green Bay Packers. You better win if you play Nick Bosa. Because there's no way in hell that we're going to beat the Buffalo Bills without Nick Bosa. We're not going to beat the Lions without Nick Bosa. So if you play him, you better win. You better win. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. There's a video from here's a Blatant Rules one. Is this it? All right, so here's the Mike Pierre explains how a blatant rules violation cost the 49ers against the Seahawks. This is KMBR right here. So I'm going to show you guys this. This is the video I actually want to show you guys. So let's get to it. Be sure to like the live, guys. Helps me out, supports the channel, helps me grow. And then one day I'll be monetized, and that will be the dream. And we'll fly like a bird. I want to fly away. All right. Share this tab. And this is KMBR, Mike Pierre talking about the blatant timeout back-to-back thing that happened with the Seattle Seahawks. That's very like I said, replace refs kind of type thing to do. I just feel like that's something you can't miss. That's I still think we would have lost because we didn't have Bosa out there in that last drive, and they were going to most likely win the game anyway. But I don't know. We'll see what he has to say. I haven't watched this, by the way, guys, so we'll see what he has to say, and then we'll go from there. Mike Pierre talking about it.
Where the Niners were getting ready to punt with 2:45 to play in the game. They were facing a 4th and 6. And the line judge over on the Seattle sideline, ward number 16 yesterday, Kevin Cody, for some reason, he came running from the Seattle sideline and he stopped the game. And our initial thing was, well, they just called a timeout right before they wanted to see how the Niners were going to line in the punt formation. But of course, they called a timeout before on the throw to Jawan Jennings, and you can't call back-to-back timeouts in the NFL. Years ago, Joe Gibbs, out of retirement of the Hall of Fame, did it at Washington against Buffalo, and it was an egregious error. Do you have any idea why would Kevin Cody, the line judge, come running in and stop punt formation if, in fact, somebody from Seattle sideline did not call a timeout? Did you get any clarification on that, Michael?
Yeah, I did. And, when it happened, I was kind of in the same mode. What did he do? I mean, we didn't have a shot, what's called the all-22, where you see all 22 players in one shot. There's also an all-29, which means that you see all 22 players and the 7 officials. We didn't have that shot. So we were kind of in the dark on what had actually happened. However, now, when you look at the all-22 and the 29, it is clear that Seattle asked for a second timeout. And what you are to do when a team asks for a timeout, when they're...
Do you need an all-20, that someone called a timeout? It happened, right? It happened back-to-back. Do you need an all-22 to see that? It happened. I don't understand that. I could just be missing something here and being stupid, but that's the analysis I think it's happening right now, and I think yeah. I don't know why you need all 22 for that.
They're not entitled to it. So either they're out of timeouts or they've already called one in that same dead ball period. What you do is ignore it. Now, it didn't get ignored. It got granted. All right, so what does the rule? Is it simply a do-over at that point because the officials erroneously granted that? No. It is a 5-yard penalty, even though the official shouldn't have stopped it. When he does, then it's a 5-yard penalty, and that's a rule. To me, it's kind of one of those unforgivables, and they recognized it, which then we saw them try to get the teams back on the field rather quickly, but in reality, instead of having that 4th and 6 punt, worst case scenario, I guess, is you have a 4th and 1 punt.
Or you may go for it, Mike. You may go for it on 4th and 1 and not punting the ball.
Which then leads to
think about that.
Probably what I would call a probability of going for it from 4th and 1. So that it's like judgment. Judgment is judgment. Judgment is hard. Rule is not. I mean, if you're going to officiate in the National Football League, then it is incumbent on the 7 players and replay that can get involved in penalty enforcements to at least say, hey, that make sure that they knew it was the second timeout and that is a foul. Somebody has to catch that.
Well, now you got me go. Do we know who on the Seattle sideline asked for the timeout? Did it come from Mike McDonald, the head coach?
It makes no difference. It makes no difference.
But do we know who asked for it?
Well, no, I don't know. I didn't see. I just confirmed that it was a coach that asked for it. That's all that I confirmed when they were looking at it back in New York. But they couldn't tell from the all-29 which it was. But once it's granted, it's a foul, period. So it's that's you get with all the missed face masks that we have seemed to have had. You can sometimes see how that.
If it's granted, it's a foul, right? That means the ref in that time, in real time, has to admit that he was wrong by allowing a timeout to happen. Is that what I'm getting? That's not happening. That's not happening. They're not going to be like, oh, shit, I messed up. I gave you the timeout, and it was granted. Oh, my God, 5 yards. My bad. No, they're not going to do that. That's what I feel like that's what he just explained. Like, hey, it was granted, so now they have to take 5 yards, and the refs fucked up. Not to mention, I really, truly feel like the back-to-back rule is like pretty much what Mike Pierre said. It's just your basic function of the game, right? It's not some weird, obscure rule or iffy thing that's happening. This is like something you should know from reffing 101, right? Like that is such a bad. It's not like a catch where you're like, okay, that was iffy. Oh, a little bit of fumble. Was that iffy? No, there's a black and white reality here to this rule, and they missed it. But it also requires the refs to be wrong, and they were like, "Oh no, we'll just pretend like we'll just keep going, give them the timeout, move on." Like, what the f, dude? That's crazy, dude. I do agree. I didn't know it was 4th and 6. Actually, now I think about it. So 4th and 1 does change the game. Not to mention, it gets you close to a field goal. So maybe you want to kick a field goal there, right? Oh, that's pretty brutal. It's pretty bad. I didn't say it first, but that changes the game on the offense side of the ball. Brock Purdy, without a doubt, would do a quarterback sneak, I would guess, in that situation. He's been really good with those. Probably get the first down there or kick a field goal. So you have better options in that situation. 4th and 6 actually changes the game. That's crazy, dude.
That happens. When I ran the program, I never expected perfection when it came to judgment. I expected perfection when it came to rules. And the minute that happened, that they erroneously granted, and the rule, it's kind of specific, as a matter of fact, because it covers the exact wording. If a timeout is inadvertently granted, then it is a 5-yard penalty. Inadvertently granted 2 timeouts in the same dead ball period, which is what we had here. Or, as I said before, if they were out of timeout. So, not one that the league can be very happy about. And me as a 49er
well,
fan,
wait a minute. I mean, so Kevin Cody, the line judge, comes running in and we stop.
Did Mike Pierre just say that he's a 49ers fan? Did he just say that?
Or if they were out of timeout. So, not one that the league can be very happy about. And me as a 49er
well,
fan.
Wait a minute. I mean,
hold on now. I know Mike Pierre was a 49ers fan. Or is he just saying, like, if I was a 49ers fan? It sounds like he said he was a 49ers fan.
So Kevin Cody, the line judge, comes running in and he stops it. And then he goes and talks to Brad Rogers, the Whitehead, and they go over and talk to Mike McDonald. I mean, was it a cover-up in that situation? I mean, why did he grant him the timeout? And where is the recourse to rescind the timeout?
Well, look, it can the ball's about ready to be snapped, okay? And I'm Kevin Cody here, or if that's who it was.
It was the line judge, number 16. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, the ball. It was almost snapped, and so you're looking at false starts and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, somebody behind you goes timeout. I can kind of see that reaction.
Totally,
I really can kind of see that, but I can't see once it happens. Then everybody's got to get together and say, okay, that's a 5-yard penalty by rule. Somebody has to catch that. You can't go, oh, well, their coach is a new coach and maybe he didn't understand that rule. No, you can't do that. You have to enforce it as it is. And
so why didn't they? Why did they rescind it?
Why did they rescind it?
Yeah,
because they were wrong. They should not have done that. And they didn't get they shouldn't even have to have any input from somewhere else, but none of the 7 officials on the field, nor the people in the replay booth recognized. No, it's not very common. It doesn't happen very often, but that's no excuse. It's just that they, for lack of a better word, blew it.
So just to clarify, and we're talking to Mike Pereira, the Fox rules analyst and VP of official.
Dude, that he's a father, Mike Pierre, is just based on he had to go for the dad joke. He had to go for it. And like a better term, they blew it.
In the NFL for anyone who may have been joining us mid-interview or just trying to wrap their head around it, it's not an automatic penalty if there's a second timeout called. The initial thing to do for the referee is just ignore it and let the play go on. And then if you make the mistake, as the line judge seemingly did, by granting that second timeout, then you have no choice but to give the 5 yards.
Well, God, you explained it better than I did, for God's sake.
Now you got me worked up. Now,
I don't want to get you worked
No,
up.
now-
When you get two,
now we're
when you-
going back
when
to
you
the
get two
Lewis
grades
Murphy play.
together-
Remember the
Like I said, the ref would have to admit that he was wrong. It's up to the ref. If the ref makes the mistake of calling a timeout and you fool the ref has to admit that I got hoodwinked and I got to give you 5 yards for that. But also the ref has to admit they fucked up on a very simple rule. Just you
the
can't
Lewis
make
Murphy
this
play
up.
against the
God,
Chargers?
don't.
I'm not
No,
even.
wait a minute.
I'm not even going to tuck you on you, Pereira.
Don't.
I'm going to
afraid that
Lewis
Amy
Murphy.
Trask is gonna,
I know Amy
Trask
Trask.
is going to walk around
Well,
the corner here. And
This
get me.
changed if it's 4th and 6, you're punting. If it's 4th and 1, and you're on the Seattle 37-yard line, are you punting in that situation? No, you got
I
to
don't
go
know.
for
I'm
it.
not a coach.
I know,
I'm not
but
a coach.
you may
but I
have
can only
cost the
say
Niners
this.
a game.
110%, man. 110%. 110%. It might have cost 49. Now that I think about it. Honestly, I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't think it would matter. That actually matters. That's a big deal, dude. Especially with the division so tight, especially with 49ers needing the W with how tight the race is for the playoffs. That is brutal, dude. That is brutal, man. I don't think, and again, I don't think the refs were paid or anything like that. It was rigged or whatever. I think this was honestly just an honest mistake that one ref just refused to admit he was wrong, or he actually did not know the rules, which is a very, 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 very bad thing for the NFL. Because it's black and white. It's not like something you could be like, oh, well, I think he fumbled it. Oh, well, I think his toe was out of bounds. You can't do that. There's no gray area to mess with. Like this is pretty much this is the rule in general. This is definitive. This is the reality of the game, the rule of the game. There is no gray area in this. And that sucks, man. That sucks. That is Mike Pereira on KNBR talking about how the 49ers got screwed over because the ref couldn't admit that he's wrong or he didn't know the rules, one of the two. And the Seahawks, the 49ers are having to punt, and the Seahawks, of course, as you know, went down the field score with 12 seconds left. I thought it was just a timeout thing where some clock would have just been killed, but no, it would have been 4th and 1. It would have changed everything. That kind of bums me out knowing that now, kind of thinking about that. That sucks because it puts the 49ers in a tough situation. They now have to steal a game. 49ers have to go out and steal a game. I don't know, man. That's brutal. 49ers kind of screwed. You got the refs kind of screwed the 49ers. I'm not usually a blame the refs guy. I really not, but with how black and white that rule is, how that's really just knowing the game in general. That is just general rules 101 of reffing. You can honestly say that screwed them over. All right, if you're a Seahawks fan, fine, that's where you're coming from. Oh, don't blame the refs. We won. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. But if you want to be realistic here, the ref not knowing reffing 101 in this situation is a big deal, whether you like it or not. Does it guarantee the win? No, but it definitely affected it. It definitely affected decisions, which a punt is significantly different than just going for it and then or going for a field goal in that situation. One of the two. I would have been confident with Jake Moody going for a field goal, so I probably would have preferred that we go for it maybe with the quarterback sneak because Brock Purdy does so well in a quarterback sneak. I just think that would have been a lot better. That sucks. I can't believe 49ers got screwed. Damn. That sucks. I didn't know Mike Pereira was a 49ers fan either. That's weird. Knowing that, that's crazy. Didn't know that. All right. So I'm going to get out of here. It is just about an hour. It's time to bounce. Thank you. Everyone who's watching this, man. Thank you so much for the support. Please hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. It helps me grow. And then one day we'll hit monetization and this channel will really skyrocket. Okay. So just go everything that we talked about. We talked about Justin Tucker, how he lost his touch. Really sad. The Giants letting Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles. The GM should be fired by now. That is just so crazy that they literally said from their own mouth, it is Daniel Jones' time. All you had to do was pay like $1 million more, dude. Like $1 million more, and you could have had Saquon Barkley still in your squad. I can't believe they did that. Packers, not about the Packers, but talking about the Packers 49ers. The Packers are favored by 2.5 points. The over and under is 47 points. And I think it's going to be under. And realistically, without the belief part, Packers may beat us by more than 2.5 points if I were the betting man. but I still think we could beat this team, right? And I do think it's going to be under 47. I'm taking the under. We're going to go live again tomorrow, and then go live again tomorrow. For that, we're going to try to push this. We're going to try to go live every single day, so we never stop the grind. All right, it's good. Some days are going to be 30 minutes. Some days are going to be an hour. It's just how it flows, how it goes. And also, by the way, George Kittle should be returning to practice. Count on Nick Bosa missing practice. Jonathan Garvin has been signed to the practice squad. And Purdy is day to day, but I haven't heard anything really bad, like he's going to be out or he's going to miss this week or anything like that. So that's great news. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sam, for joining the live. Val, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. You're awesome. OG Nikita, you're awesome. Michael Zazzaro, thank you so much. I think that's everybody. Thank you so much for the love and support. You guys make this channel what it is. It's nothing without you. Thank you so much. Sub if you like the content. Because I tell you what, I go live all the time. Not only do I live all the time, I make videos and shorts every single day. Well, I try to make at least one short a day. Not a short, but a video, some sort of content. All right. So that lets you guys know I'm still here. Right. But I'm still letting you guys know here's something awesome. Same time, right? So if you like the content, if you like the live, helps me out a lot. Like I said, I keep saying that, but it's just true. And truth is the truth. So all love, fam. I will see you next video.